they're trying to make it more difficult for us to deport these vicious, violent, criminal, illegal aliens. Not only do they drug traffic, they traffic young women throughout the country, sex trafficking and labor trafficking. These are horrendous individuals who maim, rape, and kill Americans for sport.
That was DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLachlan on our program just a moment ago. This as the Trump administration now asks the Supreme Court for permission to resume the deportation of nearly 200 Venezuelan migrants. They're claiming it has become, quote, especially dangerous to keep these people, alleged Tren de Aragua gang members, detained. Let's bring in John Yoo, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General and UC Berkeley law professor. One of our favorite guests. John, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you in real D.C.
Well, you got to stop the rain, please. This is terrible for my California complexion.
It's terrible for all of us. So this, in the filing, the Trump administration filing yesterday, they write some 23 putative class members recently barricaded themselves in a housing unit for several hours and threatened to take hostages and harm ICE officers. Unsurprisingly, given the members were detained based on their membership in a designated foreign terrorist organization, that's Tren de Aragua, they have proven to be especially dangerous to maintain in prolonged detention. Does that surprise you?
Jillian, here's the problem, is that the courts, these lower court judges, are intervening in fundamental questions of national security and public safety. If the courts allow these lower court judges to continue to question the executive branch on how to protect our national security, how to make sure the most terrible aliens, illegal aliens are deported, they're going to be besieged with cases like this all the time. Do the Supreme Court justices want to sit there and say, now they've tried to bust out again. Now they've attacked prison guards. That's what's going to happen if the courts try to expand their powers and second guess the way the executive branch protects national security.
Well, not only are they questioning the way that the executive branch runs national security, but they're also questioning whether or not the president, through executive order, can eliminate things like birthright citizenship, because the White House has now petitioned the Supreme Court on the birthright citizenship issue, saying in part, this is what's included in Reuters today, Trump's administration has focused the Supreme Court's attention not on the legality of the action by the Republican president, but rather on the permissibility of the actions by the three judges who issued an injunction against this, whether federal judges should have the power to issue broad orders that block challenge policies on a nationwide or universal basis. The point has been made that if there is a court in the land that should be issuing nationwide injunctions, it's the one just down the street here, because it's the only national federal court.
That's an excellent point, John. And as you know, the Supreme Court has ordered a special session this Thursday to hear these arguments against these trial judges who are not just deciding the case of the people who appear in the courtroom before them, but are stopping the government from pursuing a policy nationwide. I don't think the court will get to birthright citizenship this Thursday because they have the opening to say, that's over. As you say, John, these cases and the nationwide importance of them will be decided by the U.S. Supreme Court, not by one of 1,000 random federal trial judges that plaintiffs happen to pick. And then does the Supreme Court want to allow these trial judges to second guess, for the first time in our history, whether the president or Congress are correct in saying there's an invasion or a war going on that justifies important, decisive measures by the president? So I think the Supreme Court's going to say we can't allow these judges to piecemeal pick apart executive powers and the Congress's powers and basically set policy for the whole country by themselves unilaterally.
Yeah, what kind of a verdict do you think that's going to be? 5-4, 6-3?
Well, you know what Yogi Berra said about predictions? They're really difficult because they're about the future. I don't want to, but seriously, I do think the Supreme Court majority, it'll be 6-3. And they'll say no more of these nationwide injunctions.
All right, we got to leave it there with you, John, but thank you so much for coming in person. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Enjoy your time with Mom, showing her the city.
She's 87. She's going to have a great time.
We'll get you back in the sunshine quickly enough.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.